Hello and welcome back to the second round middle 7 of the 2020 Maiden Shade Open. My name is Derek Sahr and I am joined here with
Joey Temali. We have a great battle going. We have Jimmy Seechan holding on to a one-stroke lead. Louis is charging hard. Jacob and Josh are a couple strokes back, and at this point, Chase Card is threatening. Colin Bailey is doing what Colin does, and he is definitely in the conversation for this tournament.
Yeah, he is turning on the jets, and we're starting off on a very difficult hole. Hole 8, 278 feet. It plays so difficult because you're open in the beginning, and then you have to hit a tunnel shot about 120 feet off the tee. And it plays uphill, so it probably plays closer to about 300 feet.
Yeah, low ceiling, uphill tunnel shot. That'll always be a pretty difficult birdie.
It's one that getting a 3 doesn't feel terrible, but Josh is going to play that ground game. It's pretty much just dirt before the basket, so you do get a pretty good skip if you have it nose down, dragging into that.
He's definitely got a good look for the 2 there, probably about circle's edge. Louis, I don't know what this mid-range is, but yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's another great shot.
Similar distance to Josh, circle's edge. Those are pretty good. I mean, you'll be pretty happy with looks like that on this hole.
No kidding. And Jacob's throwing this disc a lot. Pretty curious what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, still.
No, it didn't even matter.
I think that helped. That took off a lot of speed. That would have been a little deep, but maybe even an ace run. And Jimmy coming off that 3 last hole. Trying to pick something up here.
Yeah, he's lost a couple strokes to the card in the past 2 holes, and
yeah, he's got a chance to get it back.
That's a good way to bounce back.
What a great shot.
So no gimmies for any of the 4 guys here, but definitely putts at 2.
Yeah, Jimmy looks like a left to right for him here. Yeah, banged it home. Great putt, Jimmy. He needed that one.
Yeah, that's a confidence booster, especially when you're leading a tournament. To lose a stroke to the entire card 2 holes ago and then lose a stroke to Josh on the hole before, it's good to get that momentum back in your favor.
Josh doesn't have an easy putt here by any means. This wind is really ripping. Oh, just over the rim.
It's Miller time, baby.
Great putt.
He is a very clutch player. I always notice playing with him when the pressure's on the line, regardless of what hole it's on, he just seems to step up and rise to the occasion.
Boy, has Jacob as well. Card's a birdie.
We might be looking at a star frame here. All right, Louis.
That's such a difficult hole to get a star frame on. This would be so cool if Louis can get this in.
But I mean, look at those trees. This is not a gimme.
Yeah, I think he's dealing with a right to left here. Maybe a little bit ahead even. He knew it right out of his hand, too.
Just didn't give it quite enough.
Hey, there's Joey.
Hey.
There we go.
And that's not a bad 3. Obviously, when the rest of your card birdies, it doesn't feel quite as nice, but...
Yeah, Jimmy's dead center. All the way. Louis falls back a little bit. Jimmy holding on to that 2-stroke lead right now. Yeah, this is such a good battle at the top. As we jump in hole 9, par 3, 265 feet. I agree with you, Joey. This is probably the most difficult par 3 on the course.
Yep.
It has such a fast green behind the basket, and you have to control that disc angle so well. Plus, these guys are playing into a raging headwind.
Yeah, it definitely is really tricky with that drop-off because you have to have it nose up going over the top of that hill, and then all of a sudden it has to like nestle very nicely down the hill, down that downslope. Miller back to the clutch. That looks pretty good, honestly. Might have caught... Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. I think, yeah, you're right. He did clip a little bit that kept him up on top or, before the basket.
That's about as good as you can throw that shot. There's not too many people who park this hole.
And Jacob, a little right, but you'd rather be putting uphill than downhill.
Sure. Yeah, that's actually a rare mistake. I don't see many people leak to the right side. Most people don't quite get it turned enough. Jimmy. That's a pretty nice flip.
Yeah, it looks similar to Josh's.
Oh my goodness.
What? Two players head hitting close to the basket.
Yeah, these guys are showing us how it's done. I wonder if the headwind might honestly help this shot on this hole, because with the nose up, once it starts to fall, your disc is naturally going to fade because you're keeping that nose up. And I think that headwind is keeping some of these discs a bit straighter as they crest over that hill, and as they're kind of falling back down that slope towards the basket, that headwind might kind of keep them straight.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and you can control a hyzer flip, in my opinion, a little better. This Louis kind of doing one of those half bids again. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh my.
Man, Jacob is a confident putter. He has a lot of power behind his putt, and I have a feeling that when it's going in, he shreds.
Ooh, Louis sneaking that one in. Just like the last hole, it's not a bad 3. But boy, when 2 of your card mates parked it, it's a little tougher one to swallow than normal.
Yeah. You can see why these guys are here where they are right now, too.
And you can see behind Jacob there, that's the chase card on the next hole already waiting. So just like the first round, the backups were pretty significant. Especially, in the first round, it's one thing, but in the final round, it's a big deal to be backed up on a hole, especially when you're on a hot streak. So we'll see how the competitors can kind of handle those wait times on the tee pad.
Good follow through. And Jimmy making it even wider. Boy, he's on fire. This is cool to see Jimmy shredding like this.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of golf left, though, so we're coming into some of these holes where power is important. So we'll see how he handles these longer par 4s. Speaking of, hole 10, pretty gettable par 4, 379. It's just important to kind of be clean off the tee. You don't need to bite off a lot. A lot of people try to get aggressive and go with the roller. And some people will go that super wide hyzer over those trees like we saw in the first round. But the roller is really difficult to lay down. And I honestly think it's a pretty smart play to play the air shot. Jimmy got knocked down there, but he's not in a bad spot.
No, not at all. And you can play either a turnover or a forehand into the green from there.
Jacob goes with the forehand. The wind did not like that.
No, not at all.
Took it way off to the left. A lot of people end up in that grove of trees, either because they threw a roller that didn't cut enough, or they just threw an air shot. You can definitely get up and down from there. It just depends on your line. Louis going to try the roller here. Like I was saying in the first round, this one's really difficult because this is the mistake.
Oh, if he stays clean, though.
Well, he got it up, but he didn't quite get it over.
That's going to be an interesting spot. I really haven't seen many players over there on the left side like that.
If there's a gap, then, more power to him. But we'll see what he's got to try to get up and down, because that leaked pretty far left.
Yeah. And Josh kind of ground pounded his drive a little bit. Has some work left to do. And that looks pretty good.
He might have clipped.
Yeah.
One of those trees. So we're going for forehand here.
It's very difficult to control that angle.
Yeah, that wind just slammed it straight to the ground. So yeah, all right, so Jacob does have a little bit of a line here from this grove of trees. But you can see, look at how low ceiling that is. So not only does he have to go under that tree, but that crosswind with the forehand is just slamming that disc down.
Yeah, pretty much impossible. Oh, as Louis hit something pretty early.
Speaking of impossible.
Yeah, that upshot looked extremely difficult. Oh my
goodness.
Jacob is deadly from 100 and out. Like, he's just putting that. Oh my goodness.
Boy, if those had both gone in on this hole and the last hole, that would have been like 200 feet of putting distance combined there. That was like a 100-footer. Jimmy. Oh, he got knocked down by a tree. That was also looking really good. All right, so this is where Louis ended up. Just a little pitch up.
Yeah.
Down for his par. Oh, sit down.
Oh, no, it caught an edge. He'll have a little bit of work left after that. That's the tricky part about this green is it falls off so hard behind the basket that you kind of have to do what Josh just did there and have the nose of the disc hit hard into the dirt to just kind of slide it up.
Yeah, you just want to lay up almost like at the edge of the circle and just let it land like 20 short, 25 short, and just slide up there.
Oh, that is a tough bogey for Jimmy.
Yeah, considering where his drive is, that's not a bogey you want to be taking on this hole.
Yeah, absolutely not. And all of these guys have a little bit of work left. Louis taking his time. The wind usually isn't affected into this little area here, but today it is.
Oh my goodness.
Just a touch right. And Jacob, I know he seems to be straddle putting quite a bit, so he's pretty comfortable in that. Yeah, he's got that putt all day.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty athletic dude.
Josh got the easy par putt. Yep. Yeah, did the wind pick up more during the second round?
I don't know if it was more, but it was definitely about the same.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad the whole time. And that's not how this lead card wants to be playing this hole. That's 2 bogeys and, 2 pars.
That leaves a door open.
Yeah.
You know, Jay's card wasn't too far behind.
Somebody like Colin Bailey is licking his chops. You know, he's not going to be making the same mistake.
Jumping into hole 11, 423 feet. I like the added graphic, as you can see on the left, with that dead tree, because people used to throw the forehand that used to get you all the way up to about here, and then kind of had a little upshot to finish, but the backhand play seems to be more of the common play.
Sure. Yeah, and this is another hole that the wind has just made about probably almost an entire stroke harder than it would be without the wind. I mean, I've played this in the dead calm, and it's a pretty simple 2-shot hole, and now you just want to get about as left as you can. And I think that got clean. Oh, no.
Oh, hit the second tree back there.
The second tree.
Yep.
It's not the end of the world, but that's farther than he wants to be, especially into a straight headwind.
Looks a little tight. Yeah, kind of got the tree just to the right of where Josh hit.
Yeah, both of those guys are, farther away from the pin than they would like to be. Jimmy, that gets clean.
Yeah.
So smooth.
What a great shot, Jimmy.
And Louis sticking with this sidearm play that he did in the first round, and I mean, it really worked out.
It did.
The gap is much smaller, but he's kind of giving this a lot of air, just letting it flex back.
Yeah, he puts a lot of anhyzer on that forehand.
And I think it got clean. So he's going to be, I'm guessing, in a similar spot to round 1. So Jacob's got about 250 feet left.
Well, that's in his range. He putts from so far.
Yeah, but in that win, that is a bonus putt.
Absolutely, it is. Josh opting for the forehand.
Boy, that tree looked like it was right in his swing almost. Yeah, definitely. That tree was definitely messing with him.
Has he got that Firebird again in his hand? It looks like it.
Firebird. Not as good as his first round, but this is still a great shot.
He got a good ante out of it. Yeah, that's a great shot by Louis. Just a Firebird. That
And
easy.
This is how you want to play the backhand. What a shot by Jimmy.
That also looks like maybe a Firebird as well. Something stable. Pretty low profile.
He was looking for that lift, I think, from the wind, and it just never got it.
Yep.
It stayed super low.
It flew like a normal disc.
Yeah, right. He's on the right side of the basket, though. He'll have a tailwind putt, but that is going to be a tester for sure.
I would love to see Josh make this. Maybe wait a second to see if the wind dies down. Look at the grass on the right. Just ripping the wind.
You can see Colin Bailey looking on.
Yeah, that is very difficult. Yeah, he's shaking his
Can't
head.
believe it. And that's not a bad result. You're under the basket.
Jacob. Oh, yeah, man. Great putt.
That is like the smoothest putt.
I'm loving seeing this guy play. Like I said, I haven't gotten a chance to meet him even, and
Just look at that. No wobble.
just dead straight, right in the heart.
That, I can't even tell you guys how hard that is in that wind. That is ridiculous.
Plus, he had a little bit of a low ceiling. He had those branches as well that he had to keep it low enough to do that, and also with that headwind lifting the putt as well. It's so difficult.
And here's Louis. He just watched Jacob make this putt before him, and
Oh, no.
that's kind of what I thought was going to happen to Jacob's putt as well. That's kind of what was happening to everybody's discs out there.
Jimmy, just a bit short. And that's that tailwind just dropping it down.
That's the unintentional Ricky putt.
Yeah, no kidding. Louis, after seeing that, he knows he needs to get this putt into the basket. Yeah. Good correction.
It's definitely scary to commit on that tailwind, to really put it up above the basket. And
Yep.
you're just hoping for that drop. And that dropped a little late. You could kind of see him.
Yeah.
He tensed up a little bit. But that was a great commitment. No shame in a 4.
Absolutely not. Especially, like you said, this hole absolutely plays a stroke more difficult as Josh forgot his disc.
I bet this averaged about 4 on the day.
Yeah.
For the whole field.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
See, just that boom, and then he got that drop right at the last
Just
second.
at the end.
Good commitment.
And Jacob, 2 strokes back of the leader here.
Yeah, he's making a little move. Louis is falling off the pace a little bit. He was only 1 back. He's got to get it going again. Moving on to hole 12, par 4, 356. These guys are going to be playing with a almost direct tailwind. This is definitely twoable. I would say it's more of a championship level par 3 than a par 4, but in this wind, getting the 2 is pretty spectacular.
And we got to see Colin Bailey the previous round get the 2 with his leopard.
Now, is it just me or did Miller jump the box here?
Oh, yeah.
I think he did. Miller,
We won't call you out on him,
what's
Miller.
going on?
And Jacob, I'm happy to see him throw a forehand here. I do like this play, but he got over on
Not
it
in
a
that
little
wind.
bit. Yeah.
That is not the wind you want to be throwing an anti-forehand in. That wind just beat the crap out of that disc.
Yeah, you'd want to throw something, in my opinion, kind of more on the stable side, just so I know it's going to finish to the right. Just put a good flex on it. Jimmy's he's waiting for the wind to die just a little bit before he throws, I think.
That might be a hopeless endeavor. The wind never dies out here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's happening to most people's shots in this wind. They're just going into the left there. And, yeah, that's an easy 3. Louis going with his Star Roadrunner. watch this shot and tell me if you think this is how a Roadrunner flies.
Oh my gosh. Flew like a PD2 or something with that tailwind.
Right.
Man, you almost want to bust out your roller disc on this hole. There's so much wind coming at your back. And Jacob is putting.
I think he's Jacob putting.
Oh.
Where the rest of us would be throwing, he's just like, yeah, you know, I think I'll have a jump putt.
Josh, come back a little bit. Yeah, that's a great shot.
Mm-hmm.
Little touch forehand for Louis here. Yeah, played really, really well. Great shot, Louis. Jimmy, a blind shot. It's always difficult, no matter how close you are, to throw a little blind up shot.
Wow.
But he played it to perfection.
There you go.
All right, Jacob, the wind's died down a little bit. Yeah. And another birdie for Jacob. He's making a storm right now.
Yeah, he's really starting to put it together here. These last couple holes, putting the pressure on the leader.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like we're looking at a star frame here, which is kind of what you want on this par 4. You really don't have to bite off that much. You just want to get down the tunnel, and even like Jimmy, you know, he had somewhat of an obstructed lie, but he was so close to the basket, it didn't really matter.
And these guys just cleaning up here. Just want to give a shout out to Randy and the amazing job that he does on this property. I mean, there's swimming, there's camping, there's skill shots, there's disc golf. It's a little bit of everything.
What more could you ask for on this course? Yeah, it's definitely a must-visit location in south central Minnesota. If you're ever in the area, definitely go check out Maiden Shade.
Got a star frame.
Right off 35E.
Yep. Yeah, it's so easy to access as well. Such a cool course. Right, and jumping into hole 13. It's only 223 feet. A lot of players like to play like a flippy or mid-range on a hyzer, just getting around this tree and just having skip up a little bit. I have seen driver plays as well, so you do get that skip, but the green can be a little fast because of all that dirt that's near it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen stable putters, flippy mid-ranges on extreme hyzers, or, yeah, like you were saying, the driver for the skip. Jacob put that a bit long, but we've seen him make putts bigger than that in this round. So.
No kidding. What an exciting player to watch. Josh stepping up.
Looks like he's got a driver.
Oh, yeah. Just dig in. Oh.
Going to be a putt off over there.
Yeah, very similar spot to Jacob there. Jimmy may correct off of that after seeing both of those flare really, really deep. That looks really good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He didn't quite get the skip he was looking for. I think he threw it a little soft, but he's still in the circle. Louis, I think this is a zone. And, wow, he really hugged that inside. No skip required.
Yeah, just the grass just grabbed his disc and kept him right there.
This is a Josh Miller putt, if I've ever seen one. Down the stretch, outside the circle.
Yeah, what a great putt.
Ice in his veins. I'm telling you, it's almost more important as an up-and-coming disc golfer to have a better mental game than just raw talent. I think it's really easy to teach technique and teach skill, but, man, it is really special and really valuable if you can kind of have that clutch factor and that really sound mental game. That's really hard to teach, and Josh has that.
Absolutely, he does. Jacob, gonna try to not get an H in horse, and he does not. About the same spot.
Speaking of solid mental game, no pressure, just
Jacob's
Bangs
on a
right in.
heater right now.
Look at those Halloween. That might be a Halloween AVR. It's got the pumpkin stamp on it.
Oh, look at that. That is so cool.
Now Jimmy just saw 2 guys bang some outside the circle putts. This is a big one for him.
And to maintain his lead. Yeah. Very smooth.
Wow.
Whew.
It's almost like we're on the Pro Tour or something. Look at these guys.
Yeah, the pressure is on, and these guys are not feeling it.
Star frame. As short as that hole is, it's definitely a good one.
It is. It is. I don't think last round, everybody got that one. It is a good one to get. It's not too far, but oh man, it's so easy still. Like it's a tricky hole, that's for sure. And we got a 2-stroke separation.
Yeah, Jimmy is not breaking under pressure. So yeah, hole 14, par 3, 270, just dead straight wood shot. There isn't a ton of wind on this specific hole, but it's still tricky. You have to hit the line and you have to keep that disc finishing straight. But it's close enough to where for most of these guys it feels like a must get.
Oh, Jacob left. You'd rather be left than right, though. Yeah, he hit early and kicked left, but
He'll probably be out in the field.
yeah.
Probably has a sidearm up to the pin. It's not the worst place to land if your drive is off.
Josh, I think throwing a putter here.
Yeah, that's that clutch.
Just needs to hyzer.
Yeah, he flipped it over a bit. That's about 50 feet. This is that Crystal Fierce from Jimmy. Player of the Year, Paige Pierce. And he did the same thing as Josh.
He'll have a long look, but he's not in the woods to the right. That's the danger on this hole. It's just that right side.
Yeah, and if you're Louis, you're stepping up on the box, and it's like, wow, I could take a stroke on the whole card if I throw a good drive here. And oh, yeah,
he got through. I think he's not going to have too much of an obstructed putt from there.
yeah, that's just outside the circle, I think.
You were right about Jacob having that open forehand and.
Yep.
Oh wow,
That's how you draw it up.
such a good shot.
Jimmy, not even thinking about running it. He's just going to lay it up. He's got a cushion. He doesn't want to lose any more strokes. And I think that's a smart play, seeing as the only person who really has a genuine look at birdie is probably Louis.
Ooh, Josh was starting
me
to walk that
wrong.
one down a little bit.
But that's a smart move from Jimmy. You're not going to be losing strokes to the card.
But Louis, after seeing that, he can get one back. Oh,
Just a bit left. That was a good run.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a star par, so not too much movement going on.
Nope.
Now, do you know, is Jimmy one to check scores very often?
I don't know. He was with the caddy. I think he was just kind of talking with them. But I know Miller knew all the scores because he kept coming up to me and saying, "Oh, I'm in third now. I need this putt to move up and pass this guy." And he kind of picks out guys on the leaderboard and just tries to chase them down. So we'll see how well he can do that. And Jimmy holding on to his 2-stroke lead over these guys. I know Colin is close, so thank you guys so much for tuning in to the middle 7 of round 2 here at the Maiden Shade Open. I'm really excited to see how this all finishes.
Yeah, we have a battle on our hands. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
See ya.